Yesterday, we talked a little bit about factoring. Okay, today we're going to go over two types of factoring. One, guess and check, which I know you've all heard of. And then we're also going to go over two new types of factoring, which I don't think you've seen before, sock and dot. Sum and difference of cubes. Okay, so you remember when you're using guess and check, okay, well, what does guess and check always have to be? Well, it always has to be a trinomial. Now, just reviewing. Sorry, I can't spell very well. Trinomial, meaning it is three terms. It has three terms. Alright, and so let's take our first one. Usually the easiest ones students find on this are the ones where the x squared is by itself. Okay, so x squared plus 6x plus 8. Alright, well looking at that I have to ask myself, what multiplies to 8 that adds to 6? Anybody got it? You're right. It is 4 and 2. So set up my two factors. Plug in my x here and my x here. And 4 and 2 multiplies to 8, adds to 6. Now let's just double check. Positive and positive there, so what are my signs going to be? Positive and positive. Now looking at this, I've got 4x. Now we're going to check it. Hence it's guess and check. Alright. My inner terms multiplies to 4x. My outer terms multiply to 2x. Add them together, what do I get? 6x. So I have my middle term. Alright, so that is now my answer. X plus 4 times x plus 2. Alright, let's look at another one. Alright, I could give you something nasty like 8x squared minus 10x minus 3. Okay, well in this case, I can't ask myself, well what multiplies to 3 that adds to 10? Okay, on no planet does that ever happen. So let's look at my two terms, alright? Or let's make my two factors. Well, what do I know automatically factors to, or multiplies to 3? Well, on my back end, I'm going to have 3 and 1. No way about it. What do I also notice here? That's a minus sign. That means something's going to have to be positive and something's going to have to be negative. So let's take a guess here. Alright, so let's see, maybe a negative 3 and a positive 1. Now what are factors of 8? Well, 1 and 8. Let's start with that. So x and 8x. Now is when we have to check it. It's a possibility. It could work. What do I have? Multiply my inner terms. Well, negative 3 times 8x is negative 24. And x times 1, negative 24x. X times 1 is positive x. Alright, well let's add that together. Did it get me my negative 10 in the middle? Negative 10x? No, that's negative 23x. So this is the point of guess and check. We have to start again. So let's erase this or just move to another section on your paper. Alright, well, what else multiplies to 8? Alright, we could try 2 and 4. So let's try that. 2x and 4x. Now let's check it. Okay, check my inner. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12x. 1 times 2x is positive 2x. Add those together, do I get my negative 10x? Yes, I do. So those are my factors. Hence, guess and check. Alright, moving to another type of factor. So now we're going to look at what I call sock and dock, meaning sum of cubes and difference of cubes. Okay, what we're going to have to look for here is, first of all, we always have two terms, either separated by plus or minus, and they are a perfect cube. Now let's, just thinking about it, sorry I can't spell perfect, perfect cube. Real quick, let's list off perfect cubes. 1 cubed is 1, 2 cubed is 8, 3 cubed is 27. Again, what I mean by that is 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, and so on. 27. Okay, 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. 5 cubed, 5 times 5 is 25, times 5 is 125. Okay, and on the list goes. Okay, so those are some examples of some perfect cubes. Alright, so first off, these are very formula based. Okay, so I have, here's my formula. Sum of cubed, a cubed plus b cubed is equal to a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. Okay, next formula. Always, it's just two sign changes. They are identical other than the two sign changes. A cubed minus b cubed. Well, in this case, rather than a plus b, since it's minus, it's going to be a minus b. The only other sign that changes is that second one. A plus ab plus b squared. Okay, so for example, a common one you might see that, especially in calculus, you might have to factor is, okay, x cubed plus 1. Well, is 1 a perfect cube? Well, yes. So first thing I want you to do before you try to factor out anything else, beneath right here, I want you to tell me, what is my a? Well, my a is, well, what's the cube root of x cubed? Well, it is x. What's the cube root of b? Well, or the cube root of 1, which is b. Or not b. Cube root of 1 is 1. Okay, so moving on, let's rewrite our formula. We're in plus, so we're going to use my top formula here. A plus b a squared minus ab plus b squared. And I do apologize for the writing here. I do not know what's going on with my board. Okay, now we're just going to sub in. Alright, a is x, so x. B is 1 plus 1. Alright, well, x, a squared would just be x squared, so let's write x squared. Minus a times b, so x times 1, which is just x. And then b squared, which is just 1 squared. 1 squared is 1. There you go, and you are finished. Okay, let's do one more of those, but this time rather than doing sock, let's do dock. It's the difference of cubes. So let's look at this. I've got y cubed minus 8. It's my next example. Okay, well, first thing I want you to do, let's kind of do that to where I can keep my formula here. Okay. All right, what's my a? My a here is going to be, well, the cube root of y cubed is y. And what about my b? Well, my b here is going to be the cube root of 8, which is 2. Now, as far as sign changes, you're not going to tell me it's negative 2 because signs here don't matter. Your formulas take care of your signs. So let's write out my formula, a minus b, and then I've got a squared plus ab plus b squared. Okay, well, a and b, so I've got y minus 2, and then I've got y squared plus y times 2, so a times b, which is y times 2, so 2y. And then b squared, well, 2 squared, which is 4. And I'm done. It is that simple. Okay, now when you come to class tomorrow, we will have practice over this.